क्या आप IAS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेनड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप IAS की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें StudyIQ.com।
Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. In this lecture, we will discuss about the World Bank's report on stunting. Recently, the World Bank has released a report on the prevalence and also the effects of stunting. So, in this lecture, we will analyze what is the report, what are the highlights of the report, and what is the status of India and how we can overcome the problem of stunting in India. First of all, let us see what are the highlights of the report. A child is called stunted if the height for age ratio is not proportionate. So, the classification is done whether the child's height for age ratio is proportionate or not. And according to the report of the World Bank, the effects of stunting are very wide. Children with stunted growth are more prone to enduring adverse outcomes later in life. So what are these adverse outcomes? Outcomes like impaired brain development. The brain development of the child would be impaired. This will also lead to lower cognitive and socio-emotional skills and also lower levels of educational attainment because of impaired brain development. So these are all outcomes of stunted growth in a child. Now coming to the status of India, the World Bank has analyzed 140 countries for the workers who were stunted as children. That means the workers in 140 countries were analyzed and the analysis was done whether these workers were stunted during their childhood. So make it clear that not the children but workers were analyzed and the analysis was made whether they were stunted in their childhood. And according to the analysis done by the World Bank, only two countries, that is Afghanistan and Bangladesh, these two countries has surpassed India's proportion of stunting. In Afghanistan it is 67% and in Bangladesh it is 73%, and in case of India it is 66%, which means 66% of the Indian workforce are stunted. The workers are stunted in their childhood. So we can say that India has the third highest number of stunted people in the workforce in the world after Bangladesh and Afghanistan. And this 66% of the Indian workers who are stunted in the childhood is mainly due to the malnutrition in the childhood. So childhood malnutrition is the prime cause for the stunting. And because of this stunting, there is 13% loss in income per capita. 13% of loss in the per capita income estimated in India, whereas the global average is 7%. So we are above the global average. And how is this loss calculated? The loss is calculated based on various factors like impact of stunting on schooling, cognitive ability, height, and also the influence of these factors on individual's income. So based on all these factors, the analysis is done, and according to the analysis, there is a 13% loss in the income per capita due to stunting. We have seen that the global average is 7%, and coming to the average in South Asia, it is 10%, and in North America, it is merely 2%. In Europe and Central Asia, it is 5%. So we can say that the stunting has affected various countries, various continents, but in different proportions. But when we compare it with India, India has higher percentage, that is 13% loss. And one important fact here is that many poorer countries have handled the problem of stunting better than India. We are a developing economy, we are in the middle income category, but the poorer countries have performed better than India with regard to solving the issue of stunting. For example, Senegal, the per capita GDP is half of that of India. So here the GDP is half. But this country was able to reduce stunting in its children by half over 19 years. So their performance in handling or reducing the stunting is far better than India, even though their GDP is half that of India. Another example is Peru. And how did the small countries or poorer countries attain this? This is due to the provision of nutrition, health and sanitation. So 3 important factors: nutrition, health and sanitation. Now let us see what are the returns on this national nutrition packages. According to the World Bank report, the returns on the national nutrition package overweigh the cost, which means that India has gained a lot from investing in the national nutrition packages. These programs have proved to be successful. So we can say that India is one among the countries that can create biggest gains from strong nutritional programs. So the gains out of these programs are very high for India, or the result is remarkable. And if we take the benefit cost ratio, we will see that the average global benefit cost ratio is 15:1. But in case of India, it is 81:1. That means for every 1 unit of expenditure, the returns is 81 units in case of India. And because of this number, we can say that the return on an investment into better nutrition is among the highest in India. The investment the country makes in nutrition programs has come out with very good results. And what are the reasons for that? One reason is low cost nutrition programs in the country. And second reason is the high GDP in the country. So because of these 2 factors, the result or the benefit cost ratio is very high for India comparing to the average global returns. And in India, the focus is mainly given on maternal and neonatal health. And if we look at the present status, we will see that the World Bank has conducted this survey on the working population. So the focus of World Bank was whether to find out this working population had suffered stunting in the childhood. So this stunting would have caused a negative impact on the outcome from this workforce. So this report is solely based on the workforce. But now coming to the present status, we will see that the number of children stunted under the age of 5 has reduced drastically in India. It has reduced from 62% to 38% if we consider the children under the age of 5 who are at present stunted. Still, this is a very big number. Now coming to the causes for stunting. Stunting in India is affected by a variety of reasons like socio-economic determinants, which means not only economic reasons, that is money or wealth is not the only reason that has led to stunting in India, but also various socio-economic issues. Social issues like attitude plays a key role in stunting or malnutrition in India. On one hand, there are economic issues like wealth, prosperity, lack of income, etc., which has led to malnutrition and stunting. But on the other side, or equally, the societal attitude plays an important role, especially in the treatment of women and children. One important cause for stunting is social inequity. Social inequity means lack of equal access to social resources. This is especially in case of women and children. And this inequity is evident in women's status, health, household wealth, access to services, etc. And also India has inadequacies in women's well-being and also in efforts to reduce poverty. And 2 deciding factors are the body mass index of women and also the educational attainment of the women. So it is evident that it is not only the economic causes that has led to malnutrition or stunting, but also social causes like the attitude, behavior towards certain vulnerable category in the society. Now, what is the way ahead in order to overcome these issues? At present in India, we have the ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Services, and also we have the Public Distribution System, the PDS. And these schemes, along with the midday meal schemes provided at the schools, address the problem of child nutrition. And secondly, we have the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And along with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we have the National Rural Water Drinking Program. So, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and the National Rural Water Drinking Program will address the sanitation and drinking water needs. And thirdly, we have Nutrition Specific National Program, that is the Poshan Abhiyan. It is the National Nutrition Mission or the Poshan Abhiyan. And this will address the nutritional gaps for women. And in the beginning of the lecture, we have seen that 3 important factors that lead to malnutrition and stunting are: one is nutrition, second one is health, third one is sanitation. So in order to tackle these problems, we have specific programs like ICDS, PDS, Midday Meal Scheme, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, National Rural Water Drinking Program. We also have Poshan Abhiyan or the National Nutrition Mission. So all these are aimed at bringing down the stunting or malnutrition. But we have also seen that this problem of stunting is also associated with the social problems or attitudinal problems. So we should do something in order to overcome the attitudinal problem as well. So what can be done? Specific focus must be given to lower income and also the vulnerable category, that is women and children. The government is already moving in that direction, but awareness must be created. So along with the policies and programs of the government, only an attitudinal change can bring a long-term solution to the problem of stunting. So awareness must be given to everyone, and that is how the attitude can be changed. And if we are successfully able to overcome the problem of stunting in India, with the demographic dividend we have, we will be able to make improvements in earning in the long run. That means the outcome can be increased. We have seen that there is 13% loss in income per capita. This loss can be reduced or eliminated. And if we solve the problem of stunting, it will also reduce healthcare cost in the country. Due to malnutrition and stunting, people become more vulnerable to non-communicable diseases. So the diseases can be brought down, and this will reduce the healthcare cost in the country. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. Thank you.
क्या आप IAS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेन ड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप IAS की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें StudyIQ.com।